I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, you ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crap from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. These whole frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in feelings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on healing. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. No, I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. 'Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. 'Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. 'Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. From the heathens, got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
We're back. Cap Space Jam is back 2 weeks later, I believe maybe 3 weeks later. But we're going on back on a semi-regular schedule. The fantasy playoffs are around the corner, so this is a perfect time to look and see what's going on and just look at some of the teams. There's been some dominant teams. There's been some disappointing teams. We've had a few trades, and we also said goodbye to another owner. Well, owners, technically. But we're here, okay? Before I get started, later on at 7 o'clock, literally, we have the return of Deep Takes from 3. So be sure to watch that. You're going to see me take on Gary. And we're going to pick from the All-Star pool. You can't see because of my green screen driving things crazy. But yeah, be sure to catch that. That's going to come at 7 p.m. And then, you guys could just watch me once again defeat Gary in this draft. Last year we did a draft as well. And yeah, here we go. This is the player pool. So that's today, Kobe Day. Number 2 for Gianna, number 8 for Kobe. So rest in peace to them. We're going to talk about LeBron James. We're going to talk about a lot of things later on. So we're not too far from now. So I'm going to try to keep things pretty smooth and simple here just to get a show out and see what's going on in the league. So first of all, we said goodbye to Eric and Kenny. That were the team that we were looking at last week. I'm going to pull up Yahoo really quick. Let's do this and see what's going on over here. Okay, so I'm going to get into like the nitty and gritty. But last week I was talking about how there was one team early on when we were first drafting. I really thought I would be able to make some news because in a league like this, depth really matters. And they were one of the teams that had one of the better depths in the league. And as we can see, here's all the rosters. But the team I am referring to, if they could just pull it up really quick, you can see all these names and everything here. But yeah, return of the Heatles. So we have a new owner. It is none other than Martin. He is one of the writers for the Athlete Sub. And yeah, he's got Luka Doncic. I mean, this is a team that really has potential. And, I hope to see this team do well moving forward or at least be semi-competitive. Maybe not this year because it's a bit too late, but next year, the years after that, all we need is people that are active in the league. Everybody has a chance to win. Injuries could flip anybody's season. I literally tanked, and I'm still somewhat in the mix. I could still easily sneak my way into the playoffs if a couple things go right for me. So real quick, we're gonna look at there's my roster, but the main reason I'm pulling this up, So I'm gonna talk about my team real quick. Not much has happened really, just been a couple of injuries here and there, dealing with the inconsistencies of my guy RJ Barrett. I haven't given up on him, but he's been a little bit inconsistent this year. But it's tough. He's playing third fiddle. So the fact that he's still putting up numbers the way that he is, despite being the third fiddle in New York behind Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, is impressive to me. And of course, there's a little bit of bias there. So I'm not even gonna talk too much about him. As far as the matchups this week, we have a few going on. I'm facing off against Jonathan's team. He has one of the tough teams in the league. He's put up consistent numbers. He seems like a shoo-in for the playoffs. I expect to probably lose this one, but I'm definitely going to keep in the mix the best I can and set my lineups. I'm going to save David for a second. I mean, of course, I feel like he's going to win this matchup. I don't think that's a big surprise there. Melo's balls. Okay, Logan. He is 181 and 65. What the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on here too? Okay, look, Austin, man, we gotta have a talk, brother. We gotta have a talk, okay? Like, damn, and you're doing it against Ronnie, the man that I'm in a division battle with. I need you to defeat him. You're giving him a free win, man. I'm not good with that, bro. But Austin's gonna get it together. I know he will. This season's a bit of a wash for him, 5-11. But I expect him to flip things around. Ronnie's a bit of a surprise because I really thought he was gonna be like top of the league, at least like top 3. Of course, injuries have happened, and it just hasn't really worked out that way. He's 8-7. But he is still in the playoff mix. Remember, even if he was the 10th seed in this division, he would be in the playoffs. All division winners are definitely in. As you can see, we got some people that already clinched the divisions, which if you watched any of the first couple episodes, that wouldn't be a surprise to you. And then we go down here. So the unthinkable has happened. I'm going to talk more about Brad, but yeah, Gary's leading, but Brad is expected to win. So let's see what Gary does with that. Okay, and moving down here, of course, Davis. It's another guy, man. I gotta talk to you, man. Like, just hit that start active. No, that's Brian. Brian, even worse, man. Come on, he literally just took over this team. 48 points. Come on, man. Gotta do better than that. You can't give Devin, of all people, a free win. So I think I'm facing off against next week. So you cannot give Devin no wins, please. Thank God. All right, moving forward, freaks and geeks. Now this is Davis. Davis, at least you're not last, but yeah, man, we gotta. Just hit that start active button, man. I know you're a busy man. I know, Davis is one of the greatest human beings on this planet, man. So I know he's up to doing something, like he's saving a kitten out of a tree or something. But, just hit that start active. What does the Fox say? This is a team name. Let's see. Who is this? Is this Mr. Tim? No, Zach? Zach, this is you? So Zach specifically wanted me to share with you guys the reason why David has a second loss on his record. Of course, he lost the first one against Brad, which no shame in that because, as you can see, everybody lost to Brad. Some lost twice already. But he actually lost against Mr. Zach, who is leading the way. And he is starting to get healthy. He wanted me to mention that specifically like 20 minutes before the show, right when I was starting to prepare the show, which was exactly 20 minutes ago. So if it seems like everything's all over the place, it's because it is. Okay. So, but yeah, as you can see, there's no injuries here. You got Devin Booker, who's going to be out, or he was out. But a fully healthy team heading into the playoffs, as you can see, if he beat David, he could certainly beat anybody in this league. Oh, shoot. And Devin, yeah, we were just talking about your team, man. But you're still in the lead this week. He's still a good team-wise, but 8-8. He's 9th in the league. Let's see what with Curry being down that's going to be a tough one. But you still have Anthony Davis for now. For now, literally, emphasis on there. Hey, Nick Claxton might be the only guy left in Brooklyn in a few days, or actually a day. So his numbers may shoot up really quick. You still got Jalen Duran, who's been pretty consistent. Really good pick. I kind of wanted him when we were doing the drafts. I remember I just missed him. The man Domantas Sabonis, all-star, the guy that Devin, well, no, more Gary. Gary called him underrated, but Devin definitely co-signed with him. You got Jaylen Brown and Jordan Poole as well. So, you got some teams, but yeah, I understand. I see like the depth is getting real rough over here. One more injury might put Devin out of the mix, but let's hope not. Devin, I want you in the mix. I want to see you in the playoffs. I want you to come on Cap Space Jam one episode, and I just want you to brag a little bit. So that way when you lose next year to my team, it feels extra good. I'm kidding. All right. Now, moving forward, we got the sports page blog. Now, I'm pretty sure I spent a good amount of time talking about his team, but he's been consistent. That's the big thing. Even with the injuries that have happened, he has had enough depth to withstand it, and he has been consistent with setting his lineups. And I know he's a busy man. You got to check out his blog page. He writes a lot of good articles as well. He often has events that I see him coming out with and trivias and things of that sort. So he's a busy man, and he has found ways to stay active and has set his lineups and really hasn't had to make any moves. His team's been 13-3. As good of a chance as anyone in the league to win a championship this year. And then, of course, Zach, if you're listening, we got I'm So Harden right now with Tim. Tim, one of the newer owners here. He's been pretty consistent since he's been here. He's been setting his lineups, and he is leading the way right now on Sports Page Blog. So we'll see if he can hold on. But, of course, Sports Page Blog is a tough opponent. But you should see Tim in the playoffs, 11-5. We'll look at the standings real quick. Of course, the standings that I'm in with Ronnie, we are the worst division in the league, no question, but I am still in the mix. 7-9. Okay, look, I set my lineups. My team isn't good. Okay, I traded Kyrie before the Nets did, and I traded Draymond Green. I traded everybody because I'm focusing on next season and the year after that. But nevertheless, I'm still in the mix. Okay, but yeah, Ronnie should hold on, especially because Austin's not giving me no help over there. And then we got the toughest division in the league for sure. You got Brad, who I'm going to talk a little bit more about. I told him it's going to be the Brad show because he's literally pulling it off like the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak all over again, 16-0. Who's going to be the person to knock him off? Is there going to be a person to knock him off, or is he just going to go all the way to the NBA Finals and win a championship? We're going to look more at his team. He made another trade. He's just been super active, and that's how you win this league. Look at this. He has the most moves of anybody else in this league, 42 moves. Okay, like that shows you he's active, and that's why he is leading the way that he is. And then right behind him, the second most moves in the league is David, and he also has the second best record in the league. So that's a bit of a pattern there. Let's talk about David real quick. He still has a really good team too. Like maybe I've been brushing off of him because I was showing him love early on in the first couple of shows, but his team is really good. He just made a big trade. He just acquired. I was going to do it separately, but shit, I may as well just do it while I'm here. Okay, so we have David. He ended up trading for CJ McCollum from Brian. This is a trade that was maybe 2 months in the making. Felt like 2 years because constant battles back and forth, banter back and forth. Nobody wanted to make a move to Brian. And Brian, by the way, said something that he's wanted and he's on the run, so he wasn't able to make today's show. And Chris, he just doesn't want to be here, damn it. But moving forward, David, he had sent $60 bidding money, which we're going to look at that before the show ends and see who has what amount. He sent a second round wildcard pick, which we established. We're going to have two separate drafts in the offseason. We're going to have one rookie draft and one wildcard pick, which means anybody that is not rostered, or if we can't, like, because there's going to be some stars that is not on a team because of the cap, and they will be in a wild card draft. So, those wild card picks are really valuable. Anyway, so he sent his second round pick, and he sent Royce O'Neal and to Brian for CJ McCollum, and he made an answer to Brad. Brad also made a trade early on, which he had traded for Damian Lillard. He acquired from Gary. Gary had took back his man from Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, a 2024 first round rookie pick, I'm assuming, and a $15 bidding money. So, that's the type of moves you need to make. I feel like it's going to come down to between those two. Those would be the favorites, but Zach is right here. I was just talking about his team, and he's there. He's third in the division there. And then we move down to the Goon Squad. Of course, like I said, Sports Fave Lodge and Gary. Gary, man, I didn't know. I didn't know if Gary was going to be able to be active enough. He's a very busy man. And he has kept in the mix 10-5. He's been active himself. He made 30 moves. And if I remember correctly, he wasn't really into fantasy sports. So big shout out to Gary for drafting a good team and staying active. That's really cool. Logan, he's been right there. He's 8-8. He's just, he's in the mix. He could potentially make the playoffs. And, he got Westbrook there, who might get traded to Utah based off recent reports. And if he does, he may be the focal point of an offense again, which may suck for that team. But for fantasy purposes, that puts Russell Westbrook right at the top of, the upper echelon of fantasy players. That's for sure. And, of course, you got LaMelo Ball, who's been on and off injured all this time. But he's back. So we'll see what happens with Logan's team. And, of course, I already talked about most of these guys here. Jonathan's team. Let's put a little spotlight on him. I'm facing him this week. We got Jimmy Butler, Darius Garland, Jason Tatum, potential MVP, literally third in the rankings right now. He has Jimmy Butler, who obviously is the model of consistency. He's not in the upper echelon, I'm sorry, but he is right there. He has the MVP of this season when Jalen Brunson. So he has a really good team as well. He's been pretty active, and he's in the mix for the playoffs. And we already talked about Devin's team. So that pretty much runs down where we are right now as far as the standings go. The playoffs are around the corner. We're going to week 20. So not many matchups left next week. It'll be, like I said, myself versus Devin. He's beat down just enough, just in time for me to try to feast on him and win this matchup. We have David versus Austin. Come on, Austin. You got to beat David. These two go back as well. Like, you can't just give him a free win. Logan versus I don't even know. They both have, they have similar names, but I believe this is Christopher. Yes, Christopher. Come on, man. You too. Come on, man. Be active. Then we go down here. Like I said, you got at Austin. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't know why I went back to week 17. I was confused for a second. But, yeah. Then we have Brad versus Zach. I'm looking forward to that matchup because Zach defeated the second seed. He's getting healthy at a perfect time. Is he going to be able to be the first person to defeat Brad? Is he going to be like the Giant Slayer, or is he going to be like Eli Manning? Maybe not the top in the league, but he beats the players that are better than him. He overperforms. Can it be done? Zach, get it done. Get it done. He's just as active as Brad, so that's going to be a really good matchup. And right below it, we have Gary and the Sports Trader Blog. Again, two people on the same boat, both busy guys, but have been able to stay healthy. Healthy and active. And then we got Brian versus Mr. Martin here. Two of the most inactive teams. Who wants to lose? I think Brian wants to lose. We'll see what happens there. And then we got Ronnie versus my man Davis. So Ronnie might hold on to that. He got an easy schedule, man. I feel like this league is rigged. Moving forward, we got week 19. Hopefully we'll do a show before this week is over for week 19. But David versus Ronnie, that's always a fun matchup for me because of their history and how far they go back. As far as the premier matchups, yeah, I mean, you could see for yourself here. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Week 20, like I said, there's 3 teams that have already clinched their spot in the playoffs. No surprises. Brad, obviously, David, and Mr. SBP. Okay? SPP. Yeah, I can't say this. Okay, moving forward. We're going to look at the doc really quick. Let's see what's going on right here. All right, so this is the pick stash. Right now, early on, like when I started trading my guys, I definitely made it a point to acquire as many draft picks as I could. So as you can see, I have the most capital here. Christopher, as you can see, traded, well, let's be fair to him. Brian, before he left Christopher, traded all of his picks, mostly to me and to Devin. So Christopher has traded his way back into the draft a little bit. He has a pick in 2023 for the first round overall pick. Granted, it's Brad's and David's, so you're not going to get like a great pick, but hey, you'll get a pick. And then, of course, we're going to go to the bidding money here. Of course, Brad sent $15 to Brian, and David also sent $60 to Brian. So Brian took his way back up to $250 after he traded $75 to me. So he's back at $250 where he started. And as you can see, I have the highest amount because, you know, I'm the commissioner and I can make these things happen. I sent myself stimulus checks and I don't want to hear nobody complaining. Okay. I don't, like when I win this league next year, I just don't want to hear anything from nobody. And this is pretty much it, guys. This is a simple show. Like I said, at some point, we got to have Brian and Christopher get on here and air out their dirty laundry because there's some personal things going on over there. They're talking about feeding players rancid meat and things of that sort. You know, just a lot of crazy stuff that's going on over there. And I want them on the show, but they keep avoiding each other. So time heals all. Hopefully they're able to make it. But for now, we're only 21 minutes in, guys. There's really nothing else to talk about for this show. That's why we keep it every 2 weeks, because there's only so many matches, only so many things to talk about. I mean, we could go ahead and just talk about Brad all day and his team 16-0. It's gonna be a big show. Like I might have to do like an emergency podcast if Brad is defeated, and just jump on here. Like shit, that might need to make it to like Woj and ESPN because he's been on a dominant turn. So again, this is it, guys. I'm gonna rest my voice a little bit because like I said, 35 minutes. We're gonna be going live. D takes from 3. We're gonna get a draft in with me and Gary, and you're gonna see me win there. And we're gonna talk about LeBron James and him becoming the all-time scoring champion. Is he the GOAT now? Like, where's our stance on that? So be sure to catch us. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon it can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous. Is the world honestly burning? That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing all our minds and put the work in. We got some work, man. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through.